All right, Buddy Gross, got about a 9-pound lead on your buddy Michael Neal. Caught 21 pounds today, 25 yesterday. Man, it seems to be pretty easy for you right now.
Well, it's not easy. I'm only getting a handful of bites a day, so I mean, I'm having to work hard for everything. You know, makes me nervous only getting that few bites, but just keep digging.
Well, we touched on it yesterday. You were talking about the area you're fishing is kind of it's a transition spot. It's not a full-on summertime ledge thing. It's just a place they can come to, stop before they hit the main channel. And the way you're describing it, it makes it seem like, I mean, getting a lot of bites shouldn't be that big a deal. I mean, do you know kind of what the reason is there?
You know, there's still a shad spawn going on in the mornings. I'm thinking that I'm catching the tail end of the shad spawn while they're really up there feeding, and I think they're just going out somewhere and hanging out. I just haven't found the hangout spot yet. I looked again today to try to find it. I'm not finding it. I'm trying to be fair to my, I know it's, you know, I'm still trying to be fair to the co-anglers too.
Sure.
I don't want to just idle all day long and them not have a chance to catch a fish. So I look and then I fish, and then I look and I fish, and but I just haven't found them. I mean, it makes me nervous because I mean, I really would like to close it out, but I mean, I'm really getting 5 to 7 bites a day, and it's
and they're mostly in the morning?
They're mostly, everything I've weighed in for the last 2 days, I've got by 10 o'clock.
Okay.
So after 10 o'clock, I'm not improving. I'm not finding nothing new. I mean, I'm looking, but I'm not gained any ground yet. I really need to gain some ground somewhere along the line.
Now tomorrow, you know, you'll be by yourself. You'll have a marshal in the boat with you. Do you think with that freedom, kind of, you'll be more willing to look longer without making a cast?
I will. It'll be a whole lot different. But I paid money and they paid money too, so I just try to be fair. But I mean, I'm doing my best to try to help them get fish, and unfortunately, they've not done well with me this week. But it's not because I hadn't tried to help them. But.
Well, now we know a lot of guys talked about this before the tournament that, you know, whoever wins this is probably going to have to continue moving to fish or be in an area that they're coming to. The way it kind of sounds like with you, you have a little bit of both. There's probably some fish still coming to your spot in the morning, but you're going to have to adapt and find them. Do you kind of have an idea as to where they might go if your primary area kind of gets abandoned?
I'm hoping. There is a ditch close to me that I think they're funneling to that hits the river, but the wind has been so bad and it had it so muddy that I didn't fool with it much.
Oh, okay.
It is cleaning up, and I am going to look for that tomorrow, though.
All right. We don't have to touch on baits too much, but you know, a lot of guys like Neal's got his classic, you know, 6-7 rods he's throwing around. Is it kind of the same thing for you?
No, I'm a 2-bait guy. I'm always throwing a swim bait somewhere, so I've got a swim bait tied on, but then I got another bait that I'll talk to you about later. But it's been the bait that's producing the biggest fish right now.
All right. Well, man, when you got 2 rods on the deck or 2 baits you're catching them on, you're pretty dialed in. You're not getting a lot of bites, but they're dang good ones. And I hope you get them tomorrow, buddy. Good luck, dude.
Appreciate it.
Real deal, Michael Neal. Caught him again today, not as good. There was a big contrast. I mean, yesterday we had the wind and stuff that made it tough to fish all day. And today it was just a tough bite. What's going on right now?
You know, I think yesterday I caught most of my fish early in the morning before the wind got up, and I thought it was just because I could actually fish places effectively. But I think a lot of it actually was that the wind was dirtying up the water. A lot of my places I went back to today that I couldn't fish yesterday, and there was like a foot of visibility where we had probably 3 in practice. And at those places, I either didn't get bit or didn't even see the fish. So I think it's kind of changed things a little bit.
You mentioned to me yesterday that obviously this tournament, it's not like it was in 14. And what you did in practice is you kind of did some detective work to figure out where those fish you were catching at that point, you know, would be now, right?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of the fish I caught in 14 were all the way out on the main river. But this time, a lot of them have been kind of on the back channel stuff up closer to the bank. So I would take those spots and just go searching for their migratory route, so to say, to try and find where they're at now. But today I actually caught some on the summertime places. 2 of them I weighed in came off a place that never had a fish on it in practice. I decided to go over there and look at it, and there was 4 or 5 down there, and I caught 2.
I heard from guys, Haynes, Lambert, Brandon Hunter, you know, a lot of those offshore, those ledge guys, talking about today they found a lot of fish. They could idle over and be like, there's 25 of them. They weren't biting. What's the deal? Shouldn't they be eating when they get right out there after a post spawn like that?
You would think so. Just like at home right before I left, they were kind of in a funk. They were out there for 3 or 4 days and they would not bite. Like, you might get lucky to get one to bump something, much less eat it. But after that 3 or 4 days, then they'll really, really eat.
Okay.
So some of those new fish that got in bigger schools today may have been those ones that are in that small little funk, but with the weather we've got coming this weekend, I think it's going to get right.
Oh, that's what I wanted to ask you. You mentioned you found some, out in their summertime hunts. I mean, shoot, you think for the guys that make it tomorrow, we could really see Pickwick start shelling out?
I think it could, yeah. I mean, I don't see the weights dropping like they did today. I see them going back up to where they were the first day at least, maybe even a little better.
Sure.
Less boats on the water, less pressure, but then again, you got the local traffic as well to deal with. It's going to be interesting, but I think it's going to still be good. It's just now you've got a little time, you've got the cut made, you've got a guaranteed check. You can actually do a little more exploring and looking at the places they're coming to.
Sure.
Instead of having the pressure on you that you've got to catch them, got to catch them, got to catch them, you can take a little bit more time and look.
Well, a little more time is always good, and man, you're one of the best at doing it, so good luck tomorrow, Michael. Go crack them, dude.
Thank you.